Is SoFi stock about to be dead money over the next year? That's what this one analyst believes about SoFi stock, even though we have all these amazing catalysts and lots of things I'm going to get into in this video that totally disagree with this person's opinion of where the stock price is going to go for the next 12 months. We're going to dive into that in this video, but before we do all that, thank you for being here. I'm Austin, I'm a co-owner of cloudmusictweet.com. I'm a stock market investor, and definitely most importantly for this video, I'm a SoFi shareholder. It's a very large position for me, so I definitely care a lot about what people are saying about SoFi stock and where the sentiment is around the stock in general, okay? This is definitely a long-term hold for me. I've been buying since around the time they went public. I bought really light when it was moving higher. I bought really heavy when it was moving lower. It's treated me extremely well so far, and I don't see that trend stopping over the next year or even the next 3 to 5 to 7 years, okay? If you're not subscribed to the channel, become one of those 2,400 or so people and consider joining the Patreon with the pinned comment down there in the description area. As a thank you for being here, here's a picture of my beautiful dog, Penny. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, so Barclays just initiated coverage on SoFi with an $8 price target. Remember, price targets are 12-month targets. So this gentleman is saying that SoFi is pretty much going to go nowhere over the next 12 months. This is while SoFi has very clearly forecasted that in Q4 of 2023, they're going to have their first quarter of profits. For a company that is in the process of turning the profitability corner and going from a no PE company, an indeterminable PE company, to a company that's about to have not only a measurable PE, but a very respectable forward PE that we'll look at here in just a second, to say that that company is going to be flat dead money is a huge claim and a huge statement. Look at Upwork, up almost 80% in the last 6 months as they've flipped to profitability. Look at Palantir, up over 200% just this year as they've gone through their massive profitability transformation. Once a company is able to start focusing on margins, become a margin story, become a net income growth story rather than just a revenue beast, holy cow, the market puts a lot of respect on those names. It's going to increase institutional ownership. It's going to put a lot more eyes on a company like SoFi, and it's going to expand the shareholder base massively once SoFi is able to, 1, report their first quarter of profit, and 2, keep it rolling quarter in, quarter out. EPS positive. It's only going to get better from SoFi. And this is all while they have absolutely insane member growth with ridiculous revenue growth. The company is consistently in the high 20s and as high as 40% on those revenue numbers. With student loans coming back, that is certainly not going to make SoFi's revenue numbers look any worse, okay? All that growth, and I'm not even gonna break down growth by segment because I've done that in so many different videos, but each segment's growth is so unbelievably impressive. And them getting the contributable profit from the technology platform in an amazingly better spot, literally from Q2 to Q3. It was like almost unbelievable how much better they ran the technology side of the business. And that was the side of the business that was worrying me in a major way, because I know that can be one of those Trojan horses for the net income growth that we're about to see over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, right? For them to have turned that around and made very respectable progress towards going after more durable, larger clients and getting the expenses down on the tech side, absolutely amazing. There is a possibility where the entire market goes down in a massive way in 2024, and we could see SoFi around $8 by the end of 2024. Heck, we could even see it way lower than that. But to bet on it and put your career on it, basically, because that's what this guy's job is. He's an analyst, and he says, hey, this is where the stock's gonna be in 12 months, and then he gets rated based on how accurate he was, right? The bet that SoFi is gonna be basically flat or dead money for the next year is kind of insane to me. To be clear, if the fundamentals get worse for SoFi, of course we're going to see the stock price drop. We wouldn't see an $8 stock price by the end of 2024. If the fundamentals get worse, we would see like a $3 stock price by the end of 2024. I don't think that's going to happen. I obviously wouldn't be owning shares if I thought that was going to happen. If that did happen, I would probably unfortunately have to get out of the stock. But like I said, I see no indication that any fundamental metric for SoFi is getting any worse whatsoever at all, and I don't think that's going to start in 2024. The management team has their heads on straight. They know what they're doing. They have a vision and they're executing on it quarter in and quarter out, building SoFi into one of the biggest banks in America, that one-stop shop finance company, and they have that technology platform in their back pocket that's going to be the Trojan horse as it relates to those net income numbers, okay? Let's talk about a little bit of a comparison between SoFi and JP Morgan. This is my favorite comparison because JP Morgan always trades at a premium valuation. So you would think if JP Morgan trades at a premium valuation, SoFi definitely has to trade at a premium valuation. Like I said, their revenue growth is somewhere between high 20s to 40%. And they're in the process of flipping that profitability corner to be a net income generating beast. So you might think, yeah, of course, SoFi is going to command a crazy way higher valuation. And the valuation that we like to look at for banks, because it's all about those assets, is the price to book ratio. So the price to book ratio of SoFi right now, 1.42 price to book. Yes, that's a premium. We'd like to see a price to book of 1 or maybe even a little bit under 1 as a value investor. But SoFi is not a value stock. SoFi is clearly a hyper growth company. So a price to book of 1.4 for a hyper growth company that is a bank, very respectable. And to speak on that, check out JP Morgan's price to book. JP Morgan price to book 1.48. It's actually trading at a premium on price to book ratio in comparison to SoFi. Absolutely ridiculous. The other metrics, of course, SoFi is much higher than JP Morgan, especially that forward PE, right? Trailing PE for JP Morgan is below 10. Forward PE for JP Morgan is below 10. SoFi, since they haven't had an EPS positive quarter and they're about to have their first one in Q4 of 2023, that PE looks a little bit ridiculous, but it's not as crazy as you might think. Like when Tesla was flipping this profitability corner and when Palantir was flipping this profitability corner, I saw forward PE numbers in the 2000s, okay? Right now, SoFi's forward PE is sitting at 62.5. There's companies that have been profitable for years that are sitting at a higher forward PE than that. And I'm talking companies that have lower growth, lower net income growth, been profitable for years, way more established business, way less growth, that are trading at a higher forward PE than SoFi. So it's not even that bad on the forward PE side. If you're a value investor, you might be like throwing up in your mouth right now because that's so ridiculously high. But if you ever invested in growth stocks, you understand that these forward PEs can get really high sometimes when we have 5 to 10x of the growth on the revenue side, 5 to 10x of the growth on the net income side in comparison to something like the S&P 500, like the benchmark, right? So my personal opinion, short answer, is SoFi going to be dead money? Are we just going to be sitting at $8 all year and by the end of 2024, we're going to be around the $8 range? No, I don't think so. Do I know exactly where we're going to be? No, but I would say it's going to be pretty well higher than $8 a share. Of course, this all assumes that the fundamentals stay ridiculously strong and we see profits quarter in and quarter out with SoFi in Q3 of 2023 and then all the way through 2024. As long as that plays out, I think shareholders are going to be rewarded in a very nice way with SoFi over 2024. If we're not, do I care? As long as the fundamentals are getting better, if the stock price is dropping, I'm not going to be mad. I'll probably end up picking up more shares. The spot where I'd like to pick up more shares right now is the low sixes. So if we're like at $6.05, $6.10, $6.15, I'll start to nibble. If we drop into the fives, I'll start to buy a little bit heavier. If we drop into the mid fives to the low fives, or even the fours, dare I say, I'm going to be buying a hefty number of shares to add to my already large SoFi position. I believe in this company in a major way, and if we see a massive stock price depression and the fundamentals stay strong, I will be a buyer and I'll take that gladly because I'm going to be holding this company for at least 5 years, if not 7 years, 10 years, 13 years, 15 years. I want to know your opinion on this. Do you think SoFi is going to be dead money? Do you care if SoFi is dead money? Does it change your outlook on the company? Seeing these analyst price targets can be a little bit silly sometimes. I've seen a lot of analyst price targets around 13, 14, 12 by the end of 2024. That makes a lot more sense to me, given all the positive catalysts SoFi has going for it. This $8 price target seems a little bit silly. That's my opinion. I want to hear your thoughts, and I want to hear what you're doing with SoFi out there. Are you buying, selling, shorting, staying on the sideline? Let me know about it. One of my favorite parts of posting here on YouTube is checking out the comments. Thank you so much. Hope you got some value out of this video. Drop a comment below. Appreciate you. Have a great night.